Hi guys, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I know I've been absent for a while, but for a good reason. I was away. For the first time since Christmas, I went to see my family in Poland. So I was very happy to have gone there. But my plan was to record a reading vlog whilst being there. I did record some footage, which is basically just me doing stuff. I did not record myself reading physically, or did not record myself talking about what I've been reading, and which is basically the gist of a reading vlog. So I don't know if what I'm doing right now I can call a reading vlog, but just for the fun of it, let's call it a reading vlog. Welcome to a reading vlog. What a long intro to this video. Wow. So as I said, I've been away for 2 weeks. I did some reading, which was surprising because I thought that every single second that I'm awake, I'll be just spending with them or doing something or traveling to see my friends maybe, or my grandparents, for example. But I actually did manage to read 4 books in total whilst being there, so I'm really happy. The bad news is that only 1 out of the 4 books that I read was a book from my TBR. So yeah, let's just forget about August TBR. It didn't happen. I mean, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna read all of the books that I put on my TBR. I'm okay with it. I read what I want to read at a time, and TBR is just a guideline. So I'm not mad about it. I'm happy that I read the books that I read. But I think the way I'm gonna structure this vlog is I'm gonna be putting some clips from my trip to Poland. So you're gonna see me doing stuff in there. And then I'm gonna insert clips of me talking about books that I managed to finish in there while I'm here in London in my flat. You're gonna see a massive difference between the weather in there and the weather in here, because since I came back it's been so dark, grey, windy, rainy. It's just nasty weather. This is why I'm in my jumper in here, dying with my hot coffee, and in there was plus 35 degrees. So definitely a massive difference between these clips recorded now here and the ones recorded before. Just something to keep in mind. And I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this video as well. I'm gonna be mixing up the ways and the places where I'm filming these mini reviews to keep it interesting. The first book that I managed to read was You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. So this one I read as an audiobook while I was going to Poland. Since I left the house, constantly listening to the audiobook for this book. The book is not really long. I think it's like 300 pages, maybe 350 or so pages, but I managed to finish it all in one sitting, let's say. But You Should See Me in a Crown is a YA contemporary. This is definitely not something that I read often, not something that I enjoy often. It is a YA contemporary about a black girl in a whitewashed high school in America. She really wants to go to a music school. Point of the story is she really wants to get into this university, but because she doesn't have money, or she doesn't have enough money, she's counting on the scholarship to get into the uni. And when a letter declining her scholarship arrives, she has to find the fundings so she can make her dreams come true. Luckily, in her high school, there's this massive thing, a big deal surrounding the prom queen and king, in which basically a prom queen and a prom king, they each receive $10,000. I think that this is how much it was. So this is the only way for her to go to her dream school, by winning this contest. Oh, first of all, and our main character, Liz, I think that's her name, Liz has to win the contest in order to make her dreams come true and go to her dream school. This sounds really cliche, but also the whole concept that the whole town goes crazy about the prom, it's so out of my head. Like, I can't get this. I don't understand why it's happening. It's not only school kids, not only high school kids, but it's the whole town that they live in goes mental for this prom competition. I don't get it. But besides that, our main protagonist is very quirky and very misunderstood. She is not one of the popular girls. She doesn't want to be a popular girl. She's happy the way she is, but she has to change, and she has to become popular and gain popularity and gain people's votes so she can win this competition. Apart from that, in the story there's this new girl at school and Liz likes her. So there's a little bit of romance, a little bit of spark flying between the two. It's not cliche at all. In general, this book, I enjoyed it. It kept me going, it kept me interesting, because I actually listened to it for the full 8 hours straight. You know, it was a really cute read and really lighthearted. I must give this to this book, that it was interesting. It's something that you can bite and eat all at one sitting. But I think the story itself, it was not really nothing new. Plot-wise, character-wise, I think that there was nothing new in here. I do agree that there's great representation of race and sexual orientation. Kind of now they're getting very popular when it comes to this YA books that are coming out now, that there are either same-sex romances or the main character is a person of color. I think it's great that, first of all, authors include different representations in their books, and that they can actually reach out to other people who can identify actually with the characters, but also that the publishing companies and general publishers, they are happy to publish those books, because back in the day, even a few years ago, it was not as popular as it is now. But either way, representation, but plot-wise, character-wise, nothing new in there. It's not really original at all. It's like reading every second YA contemporary book. You know where the story is going, you know the arc, you know what issues they're gonna be, and the resolution, you know how it's all gonna end. Still, it was entertaining. I think what I really dislike in this book is the overuse of pop culture references. I really dislike when books do it, when authors decide to include a lot of pop culture references in their books, because for me this is just a cheap way of getting readers engaged and getting the audience to kind of connect with the characters and just make them engage with the story. I dislike it unless it is a vital part of the plot. It was just too much for me, and I did not enjoy this as much, and I know that this is just a personal thing. Anyhow, I still think that it's a valuable book, especially because of its representation, and if you are into YA contemporaries, I do recommend you pick up You Should See Me in a Crown over any other YA contemporary, because of its representations and also because of the role it plays in general fiction. me sitting next to my newest plant. The next book that I finished in Poland was Elevation by Stephen King. I was not expecting to be reading that book at that point in time. Not in the slightest. But when I got to my parents' house, my dad, who's seen my Pet Cemetery reading vlog and seeing how much I loved it, he suggested that I should read something by Stephen King. And he gave me Elevation because he just recently read it and he wanted to find out what I think about it. And because it was really short, it was like 160 pages altogether, I was like, okay, let's do it. And you know what? I must say, Stephen King knows how to write. Revelation. Because it's so short, I'm not gonna tell you much about the plot. So, Elevation is a story about a man who suddenly starts losing his weight. Even though he looks the same on the outside, he is losing weight and he weighs exactly the same way with like some heavy object in his hand. Like if he would put rocks into his jeans pockets, then he would still weigh the same as if when he was in the morning, the way he was in the morning. I hope you understand what you mean. If you think about it, it's story about nothing. The plot in there is, to me, the story was okay. It was not really interesting. But what I really appreciated, and I think this is the measure of a truly good writer, is having no plot, zero plot, story about nothing, and still make the reader continue reading and continue trying to get to the end and really gripping the reader, because that's what happened to me. I don't care, I honestly didn't care how little or how much was happening in the story. All I knew it was that it read super well. All I know is that I loved reading it and I loved being immersed into Stephen King's writing. I hope it makes sense. I think I just enjoy the way he writes, and it doesn't really matter for me what he writes, because 2 out of 2 books I really enjoy because of his writing. Pet Cemetery I really enjoy because of his writing and the story, and in here there was not much meaning behind it and there was not much story, but still it was an enjoyable read because but still it was an enjoyable read because of Stephen King's writing, which is immersive and you just want to keep going and getting more and more and more. And I think this is the measure of a truly great writer. I can't say that I recommend this story. I think it's a light, really quick read. If you have a few hours spare, you can pick it up. Value-wise, I definitely think Pet Cemetery was so much more well crafted and well thought out. But it was a light, really nice read, really enjoyable. So if you have spare couple of hours, do pick it up. Join me as I'm eating the remainings of my super delicious birthday cake that my boyfriend's mom made for me. It's amazing. It's, I think, pistachio and rose. Love pistachios, and I'm so happy that I can finish off my cake by myself. Not share with anyone else. But what I'm going to be sharing with you guys right now is my thoughts on the 3rd book that I managed to finish in Poland, which was finally something off of my TBR, which was Dark Matter by Blake Roach. Dark Matter is a sci-fi thriller which has been really popular on BookTube, and I had so many good reviews. Really, I think anyone and everyone who's read it gave really positive reviews, and the book was really hyped for me. So I must say that my expectations when I was going into the story were really high. The book did not really live up to them, but by no means it was a bad book. I think the hype did so much damage to me and my opinion. Does this sentence even make sense? I think because of the hype, my expectations were not met, because I do believe that it is a really good, solid book. What Dark Matter is about? It is about a man called Jason who one day, going back from a pub, he's being kidnapped by a man in a mask, and he's being injected some kind of drug, and he wakes up in a completely different reality in which he doesn't have a wife, a kid, he doesn't work as a professor, but he is a massive scientist with massive breakthroughs in science. So he wakes up in this totally new world for him, and he finds out that the Jason from the world that he has been moved to, or he found himself into, was the person who invented, or more like discovered, a way of traveling between the multiverses, and that there is a countless amount of different multiverses that are happening, and based on every decision that you make in life, there are different paths that your life can take you. So he finds himself in a completely different world. He wants to go back. There's massive danger in this new world of his, and he's trying to get back to his wife and kid. I really enjoyed the concept of it. I really like when there are bits and pieces in the story that involve multiverses, or like different levels of reality, or like what happened in Inception, the different levels of sleep, and like just stuff that mess up with your head. I really enjoy when a book does that. So I think the concept was super interesting, super intriguing, and the way that the main character is trying to get back to his own world by visiting all these different multiverses. Really enjoyed discovering this new world and seeing what ways that his life could have turned or went into, or the direction that it could have gone into had he made these different decisions in life. And that was super interesting to me. But I feel like the reason why I couldn't give the book 5 stars, I gave it, in the end I gave it a 4 out of 5. But the reason I couldn't give it 5 stars was because some characters, minor characters or secondary characters that were introduced in the story, were introduced with a specific idea in mind. And the role of these characters was to move the plot forward rather than just being characters and doing something. They would appear, they would do the job by explaining something or moving the plot forward, and they would disappear out of nowhere. When they were not needed anymore, when they've done the job, they were gone, and we've never heard from them anymore. I think this could be considered a minor spoiler now, what I said, but you know what? I don't care. Also, the ending was a little bit abrupt, a little bit disappointing in that sense that I wanted the story to go on more, and trying not to spoil more than what I already have. Let's just say that the ending, I hoped it would last a little longer. The last few scenes, I hope it would be longer, and it just felt really abrupt for me, and kind of it left on an open ending, which I enjoy, but I just wanted a little more. So yeah, 4 out of 5, but it was a really good book. I would definitely recommend you pick it up if you enjoy these kind of concepts of either time travel, memory travel, or like multiverses. I think it was a really solid book and really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely gonna be picking up more of Blake Roach's books in the future. Okay, before I settle down and talk about the last book that I read, I wanted to show you something that I'm really happy about and that I just recently bought, and here it is. I bought myself a folding bike. You guys, I'm super excited. I've already cycled on it yesterday. I just picked it up yesterday, but I already cycled on it yesterday evening. Me and my boyfriend, we went to a restaurant and we cycled there. It wasn't far, it was just across the park, but it's so nice and I'm so happy to finally be a proud owner of a bike, because I used to own a bike when I was living in Poland, and now since I moved to London we didn't have one, we didn't have space for one, and I'm just so happy. And matching it, I have this amazing Vespa looking like helmet. You see it? Hi and welcome to the final review of this vlog. This book I'm just gonna be quickly talking about, nothing too major, because it is a book that is in Polish, has not been translated into English, so can't say much, but it is by my favorite Polish author, and it is Joseph by Jakub Małecki. Małecki in general, he is such an amazing author. I love the way he writes, I love his stories, I love how true they are, how much they make you think, and he basically writes literary fiction. It is focusing on three men who are stuck together in a hospital room, and they basically just tell stories to each other about their past and then about their future, present, whatever not. And one of them is telling them a story of his childhood, and he has this demon that's been haunting him for years, since he was a little boy, and he was never able to get rid of him or look past him. So he lived all his life trying to hide from him rather than face and trying to get rid of him. So this is a very weird book. I think most of Małecki's books are quite strange. They're not really straightforward. There's a lot of hidden meanings behind everything. But this one, out of the four that I read by him, this one is definitely the weirdest and definitely the least clear about the meaning behind it. Until the very last moment, you don't really know what to expect, what's happening, you really don't understand, until literally in this book, literally the last sentence is where you do understand what the whole book was about. I enjoyed it because I love the way Małecki writes. His prose is so intriguing, so immersive, and really pulls you into the story, and it's just so real. He knows how to describe the surrounding, the environment, but he knows how to describe people's feelings, people's emotions, and even making each character different and distinctive in such a different way. From all the books that I read, each character is different, and wow, it's just so good. It's so good. It's really worth checking out. One of Małecki's book has been translated into English and into other languages as well, and it's called Rust in English. It is actually my favorite book by Małecki, so if you happen to find it, see it, go and get it, read it. It's amazing. I love it. Okay, so we finally managed to get to the end of this very chaotic vlog. I don't know if it makes any sense. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I decided I really like recording vlogs, so probably you can expect some more vlogs coming, because it's really fun for me to record, and I hope it is as well for you to watch, because it's very much more chilled and very much more, I don't know, very much more me. You know, I haven't been posting a lot when I was in there, and I kind of took a step back from all social media and all of the things that I've been working on during the quarantine and this whole pandemic part of the year, and it just made me think about what I want my channel to look like and what kind of content I want to create. I want to do more vlog style videos. I hope you're gonna enjoy it as well, and I still haven't figured out in the end what I want to do about it and how it's all gonna look like, but we'll see what happens. And I definitely will be making some more videos because I enjoy doing that, and for now I still have time and I don't have other commitments, so I can still enjoy doing that, and I hope you guys enjoy watching the videos. If you do, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for some more videos. Thank you very much for watching today, and I'll see you again with another video soon. Bye!